Hey team, hope you're well. Ray here and here for T7 Adventures, and I think I've got in my garage right now the one and only in this country right now, brand new Cardo Packtalk Neo. And we're going to unbox it right now and talk you through what it is. Alrighty, before we dive into the Cardo Packtalk Neo, let's talk about the entire lineup from history through to current day. This is the Cardo Packtalk Bold. This was the top of the Monty until probably about a year ago when the new model was released. This is where DMC came from. This runs DMC 1, or just DMC as we know it. Radio, Bluetooth, it was the first unit to come out with the JBL speakers. It's a really good unit, but it has been superseded. You can still get them, but this is the Cardo Packtalk Edge. Basically the same. It's what it's designed off, right? This comes out with DMC 2.0. This comes out with 1600 meters of range, 1.6 kilometers of range, line of sight, so they say. It's waterproof. This is IP67 rated. This is just waterproof. And if it's damaged by water ingress, they'll replace it. No questions asked. This is charged by a micro USB. This one, the Packtalk Edge, is charged by a USB-C, which also means it gets fast charge and all that other good stuff. This attaches to your helmet via a magnetic ear mount. So it's sucked in by the magnets, and then there's two little clips that go in here and hold it on. No way this is coming off your helmet. People have mentioned that these have fallen off their helmets, and I wonder if it's because they weren't clipped in tightly to begin with. Let me show you the Packtalk Bold's mechanism. So this is the mount. You get the front in on this little tooth here, and then push back and click in. And to get it off, you pull back on this lever, and it just comes off. The electrical connectors are recessed in here, and I quite like this system. I haven't had any problems with the Packtalk Bold ever, but it was replaced by the Packtalk Edge. Let me just grab a mount. So this is the Packtalk Edge mounted on my Arai XD4. This is the mount. I'm using the sticky mount on this. And I notice that I get a little bit of vibration from these wires on the helmet, so I just tape them down. You probably may not need that. So, magnets inside the Packtalk Edge mount. Here's the electrical connectors. It's the other way around, actually, you might notice. We've got pads on the unit and pins on the mount, where on the Packtalk Bold, it was the other way around. You got pads on the mount and pins in the recess of the Bold. Different way. So there's magnets. It's the ear mount, magnets in the back of this, and it's mounted. It is not coming off that at all, even if I smack it with a branch. The adhesive that's holding it on the helmet is probably going to break before the unit comes off the mount. To remove the Packtalk Edge, this little lever here, we push that down, we slide the edge forward, and it comes away. So there's no way that's coming off while you're riding. But that's the Packtalk Edge. You probably know all about that so far. And I started the video by saying I've probably got the only in the country Packtalk Neo. What is the Packtalk Neo? Alright, so the Packtalk Neo doesn't replace the Packtalk Edge. But people have gone and said, the Packtalk Edge is so expensive. I'd like you to make a cheaper one. So they did. So the Packtalk Edge, the Packtalk Neo, they're basically the same thing, right? The biggest difference that I've found is that the Packtalk Edge has that magnetic ear mount. The Packtalk Neo does not. The Packtalk Edge has the pads on the back of it to connect to the wires in the mount. The Neo does not have wires in the mount, and let's open it. Let's stop yarning. Let's open it so you can see. As you can see, you still get the nice box and everything. You get, they're not scrimping on the packaging. You still get the experience And there is your first look at the Cardo Packtalk Neo. As you can see on the back, no pads. Pads on the edge, nothing on the Neo. The Neo is black around here and grey buttons and centre. The edge is grey outside, black buttons in centre. But otherwise the exact same layout. The biggest difference I mentioned, no pad, well the pads on the edge, nothing on the Neo. It's because there's a wiring loom that plugs into the Neo. So you get the same JBL speakers to go in your helmet. You get the same microphones, you get all the same mounting accessories. You get a wired microphone, you get a boom microphone. Everything's the same as the Packtalk Edge, as the Packtalk Bold, as the free comms. It's all the same stuff. But instead of having the speakers wired to the mount on the helmet, as I do with the Arai XD4, see, I can take the brains of the unit off the helmet, but all the wiring stays in, right? The speakers are still in, the microphone's still in, and they're all to this point, to the mount. The difference being, the Packtalk Neo has a wiring loom that plugs into the back of the unit, right? So imagine this mount is on the side of your helmet. To mount the Packtalk Neo to the mount, you've got a tooth at the back here, slide that in, and then at the front, push down, and it clicks in. And suddenly that is attached to your helmet. And then you have the wires hanging out the side of the helmet, which you need to plug in using that USB-C connector port on the back. Now that keeps it waterproof, it's fine. But to release, you've got a little button on the front here that you need to pull back on, and the unit comes off. Don't forget to unplug your wiring loom. So the difference being that the Packtalk Edge can be taken off your helmet without any plugs or anything like that. You can also charge the Packtalk Edge while you're riding, and with that USB-C fast charge, you can run a cable down inside your jacket to a battery bank or down to your motorbike's auxiliary power. You can get a full charge on that while you're riding. It'll probably only take an hour or two, depending on how many amps that your auxiliary power is supplying. The Packtalk Neo, you can't charge this while you're using it because it only has one USB-C. So you plug that in, you use it, remember to unplug it, plug it in and charge it back at your accommodation or at the end of the day. But that there is the Packtalk Neo. I quite like it. I don't know if it's because I'm used to seeing the Packtalk Edge with its grey around here and black in the middle, but the inverted colours, the black around the edge, grey in the middle, it looks quite stylish. I like that. All the same buttons. So this is your power on button. This is also your play music and forward track button. This is your phone connection button and the button that when you're connected, say you've got an iPhone, you would hit that button to trigger Siri, or it uses voice communication or voice commands. This is your intercom button. Pair that with another DMC, a Cardo Packtalk Edge or Packtalk Bold or whatever you've got. And then you've got a wheel here, which is also a click. It's kind of like, I think of that as like the back button or the cancel button. That's your volume up and down. And then say you're listening to music, I listen to Spotify quite a bit. That's forward track and that's stop. If you want backtrack, it's double click of the front button. To answer a phone call, answer, cancel, or answer, hang up. As I said, if I want to trigger Siri, that button there. And when you want to connect another intercom, it's push and hold that button and that button, and they should automatically connect up. I haven't had a problem with that function. Let me run you through what it says on the box. Let's see if we can find any more differences between the Packtalk Neo and the Packtalk Edge. Both sound by JBL. Both dynamic mesh communication 2.0. Both operated by natural voice, which is your voice commands. Both running Bluetooth 5.2. There you go, 2nd gen DMC. The Edge has the ear mount, which is the magnetic mount on the side of your helmet. We've got natural voice operation. We've got waterproof, no waterproof rating. They're just making that claim that it's waterproof, and which means they'll stand behind that claim as well. Universal Bluetooth intercom. So if you've got a mate with no taste and they're running another brand of intercom, you've got 2 Bluetooth channels, one for your phone, one for connecting to the other intercom. But remember, the connection via Bluetooth is terrible. You can bridge them into the DMC communication DMC group, but they have to stay near you. So you've probably got 10, 20 meters max, I think. And both do over the ear updates. So download the app, the Cardo app for your smartphone, and then when you connect it to your phone one day, it'll say, ding, you've got an update available, and it will just do it from your phone. It'll download to your phone and then put it on the Cardo device. Takes, depending on how big the update is, maybe 10 minutes. No massive drama. But otherwise, exactly the same. Pretty cool though that these are, anecdotally I heard, about $50 cheaper than these. The Neo is about $50 cheaper than the Edge. But, you know, a great way to get into the Cardo ecosystem, especially if all your mates are rocking the expensive one and you haven't quite got the dosh. And the magnetic ear mount doesn't mean much to you. I quite like it, I do. I'm looking forward to chucking that on a helmet and seeing how it goes. So as I said, I'm possibly the only person in the country with one at the moment. They haven't been released as far as I know yet, and pricing has not been 100% dialed in, but keep an eye on MotoNZ.com, and as soon as I find out more information, I'll share it with you there. I really do think, and it's not just because I'm a Cardo ambassador and all, you know, interest of full disclosure, I am a Cardo ambassador. They sent me the Packtalk Neo for free. There was no money changing hands. They know that I'm making this video, but they don't know what I'm saying, and they don't have any control over what I'm saying. So hopefully that gives you some trust in that when I say I think Cardo are the best communicators, Bluetooth music devices on the market, I don't have any problem recommending Cardo to you. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit there's quite a bit coming from Cardo. I mean, the Packtalk Edge is the top of the range. The Packtalk Neo is a step below that, only missing a couple of features. If all you want is music and the ability to talk, the Packtalk Bold is still available. It's a great unit, but it's slightly dated with that micro USB charging port, and the quality from Packtalk Bold to Packtalk Bold isn't as good as Packtalk Edge to Packtalk Edge or Packtalk Edge to Packtalk Neo. But let me just run you through quickly the other things in the range from Cardo, because you may have missed some of my other content. This is the Cardo Freecom 4X. It's a duo pack, and I'm actually giving it away on the YouTube channel. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do hit the subscribe button. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are giving this away to one lucky subscriber. It's got pretty much everything that the Packtalk Edge has, but it only does 4-way live sound, live connection, so 4-way intercom. But the quality of it is fantastic. 1.2 kilometers of range, voice operation, waterproof, pretty much everything else the same. Comes with those JBL speakers. A really good option if you don't need to ride or connect with more than 3 other riders. So I've got a pack of the 4X and then the 4X here that we're giving away. If you only ever need to talk to you and one other rider or your pillion, the Freecom 2X is absolutely outstanding. Still sound by JBL, good quality audio and communications, music, 800 meters of range, waterproof, over-the-air updates with that app. That is brilliant, and I actually run that on my Arrow Commander helmet. Well, it's actually a 4X, but, you know, I'm running a Freecom on that helmet, and I run a Freecom on my JVC HJC as well. And then if you're really just keen to save some pennies but you want some good quality audio, the Spirit and Spirit HD, that's the HD there. Same deal, you can get that. That'd be great for a rider and a pillion. Not a massive amount of range, but a good quality audio and high fidelity intercom as well. And that's the Spirit, the base model. You can connect them together and intercom as well, but your range is just not that far. So really the Spirit is if you are probably new to riding, or just somebody who likes to ride on their own, maybe have a little bit of music and phone connectivity, that'd be what you'd go for. So that's a rundown on the Cardo ecosystem as it stands at the moment. The Cardo lines, you've got the Spirit, the Freecom, and the Packtalk lines. But brand spanking new, Packtalk Neo, if you want to save some money and get all the features you can possibly get, the Neo's the way to go. Hit that subscribe button. I hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, chuck them up in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I possibly can, if I possibly can. Thanks for watching. Check everything else out at MotoNZ.com.